What's happening, everybody? Sorry about the way lateness. Didn't have internet for a little bit. Storms are calming down now, but it's been a crazy line of storms just kind of taking a ride across Michigan tonight. All right, let's do it, man. 53-man prediction. First one after the first real preseason game. I couldn't find the original list. And I'll still dig for it, but Eric and I did a way too early preseason, well, off-season 53-man list or 53-man roster. I'm kind of curious at where it would be today. Honestly, I don't remember who's on it, and I got to find it. We got to find it. Obviously, the Lions have picked up, quite a few different players since then, but a lot of those players are gone now. So I'm doing good. Ornery U of M dad, man. It's been one of those days today. Honestly, when the storms hit and internet went out, I was like, you know what? I don't even really feel like doing this. I really don't. I get sick of battling the internet. No real major updates today with the Lions. Not a ton. There's some things that I wanted to get done today that did not get done. Eric's going to be off the rest of the week. He's finally going to have, I guess, surgery on Thursday. And never mind. I'll leave that joke alone. I was going to say something. He'll be back next week, hopefully by Monday. Like I told him, man, like this is no big deal. Like you gotta fix your health first, man. Teeth infections or teeth problems, that sucks. You can lose some weight in a hurry, man, if you can't eat right. So I would like to know from you guys, man, do you think right now that we have 53 players on this roster? I mean, I know we have 53, but you get the question, right? Is Brad going to fill the 53-man with what he has right now, or will there be some changes by the time that, the rest of the teams are done cutting? I think Brad's going to be late as usual. He's going to be right down to the wire, and he's going to be keeping his eye out, for who gets released. They're just going to trickle along like they always do. Last year, I think, was the worst of it, man. Last year was, I think it was slower than usual. Has anyone in the audience tonight, have any of you guys done any 53-man mocks yet? Attila says I come up with 61. Yeah, that's kind of hard, buddy. That's kind of hard. We could only have 53. It's a 69-man team. And right now, obviously, the Lions are benefiting from having, one extra guy on the roster, at least with Ahmed Hassanin. I don't know if that carries over to the regular season. I don't think that they can carry 54. I don't know, but I don't think that they can. That would be really interesting if they can. I mean, I would always try to keep a bubble guy. So Attila the Hun, you're putting in there Nate Lynn, Keith Cooper, Ian Kennelly, Morris Norris. What about him? On the bubble. I got you. On the bubble. Well, I mean, Morris Norris, he's in trouble. All right. I mean, he's probably going to end up, I think he's probably going to end up on PUP at a minimum. I don't think that they're going to IR the guy. Because if you're going to IR the guy, you might as well just cut him and let him strap it up somewhere else. I forgot something. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. go, Gunner. Come on. Come on, go lay down. Good boy. All right, well, let's just get in, get out, and get over with it. Or get it over with. I'm going to do most of this live, meaning, I got a really good idea. I haven't looked at anybody else's yet. I will eventually at some point tonight. How do I want to organize this? Let's slide you over there. Put this guy over here. I need another screen. I need one of those really big screens. There was one that was on clearance at Best Buy for like $1,500. It was like a $2,900 screen. I know it's crazy to spend that kind of money, but to have one screen that was literally 5 feet wide and like 2.5 feet tall, imagine how many blocks I could have, and that's what I'm working with here. I've got 3 giant screens that cover, 30, 60, 96 inches wide of screen already. Yeah, 30, 60, yeah, 96. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, they're 32 inches. Well, 32 diagonal. So probably like 84 inches. But you need that kind of stuff, man, to be able to do all the stuff that I do behind the scenes here. It's crazy. Doesn't seem like I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. Some days I don't know if I'm doing it. Some days I think I'm just kind of gliding. But anyway, let's do this. Where do we want to start? Let me look at my spreadsheet. Let's just start right with... let's just go right to the offense. Let's just get that out of the way. Offense, I think, is a little bit easier every year. Quarterback, pretty self-explanatory right now. And I'm going to say opening statement here. Your Honor, Kyle Allen is the number 2 quarterback right now. Sorry. He just is. There we go. Now we got it working. Hendon Hooker's going to get cut. That's right. Now, he may make it on the practice squad, but I see him getting cut. Now, I'm not a hater. I promise you. It's just a reality that Hendon Hooker's not playing well. Now, he's got 2 more games, and he can get his position back. But I'm telling you right now, Kyle Allen is the number 2 quarterback on this roster. His performance in the most recent preseason game versus the Falcons showcased really his readiness to take the backup role. And he's been in the league for 7 years, replacing Hooker, kind of late into the second quarter, which was about 4 minutes earlier than expected. He came in and completed 7 of 8 pass attempts, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. His first pass was a 68-yard strike to Jackson Meeks. Floated that ball like in between the ref, the corner, and Jackson Meeks. Just a nutty throw, but he made it happen. He followed that up with an 11-yard touchdown pass to Isaac Tesla. And then he contributed, attributed his improved performance to his growing comfort within the Lions' offensive scheme. This is not an easy scheme. It's not. It's a lot easier for Jared Goff because he's been doing it. But this is not an easy scheme. There's that troll Robert Corsini, always tries to disagree with everything that I say, which is, it's all good, man. You can have your own takes. Hell, get your own show, brother. Hendon Hooker's challenges. He faced significant challenges in this most recent game, fumbling twice, failing to lead any scoring drives whatsoever. He just has no command of this offense at all. He looks completely lost. He looks like a shell of himself from a year ago. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know what could have happened between last year and this year that he's taken like a big step back when he should be taking a giant step forward. sorry, but like the true sophomore slump, because it's really his full second season, shouldn't exist for him, right? He hasn't had enough playing time for something like that. So it is what it is. And then, of course, Dan Campbell, when he says that, this quarterback situation is still live, right? They still have a lot of time in front of them. But the fact that he's, praised Allen for immediate impact, and he was quoted as saying, he gets out there, it immediately gives us a boost. He operated the offense at a high level and made big-time throws. Conversely, he emphasized the need for Hendon Hooker to protect the ball. And it was kind of, how do I say it? I guess I was unsurprised that Dan took him out of the game, because it was just that week he said, you have to hang on to the ball to play football in Detroit. He didn't hang on to the ball. So he got yanked. The old hook came out of the side curtain and he exited stage left and he was gone for the night. And he didn't look happy about it. But, you got to hold on to the ball, dude. You really do. Shout out to Town Club for making this Honolulu Blue cream soda. This is literally the best stuff I've ever had, with pure cane sugar. And no, they're not a sponsor of the channel, but they should be. Just pay me in this stuff. I love it. I shouldn't be drinking that much pop anyway. All right, so Kyle Allen, he's looking good, feeling good. When like Deion Sanders says, if you look good, you play good, they pay you good. So right now, Kyle Allen's the guy. Jared Goff obviously is number 1. Kyle Allen's number 2. Now the question is, are the Lions going to keep 3? Nope. They are not. They never have. I think that unless you have some major issues on your roster when you're going into cuts and you've got some wide open holes, and Hendon Hooker's better than a 6th safety or a 7th wide receiver or 6th or 7th defensive end, well, then he'll probably make the roster. But I don't think that's going to happen. So Hendon Hooker right now is number 3. You could potentially see this guy get IR'd or pupped or something. Now, the rule changed this year. Don't ask me the rule, because I've already forgotten what they changed it to. I just know that you're allowed to have at least 2 guys that you can put. I think it's 2 guys you can put on IR. They won't count against the other 2 guys that you can put. Something like that. I don't know. We'll have to look it up. If someone wants to look it up, that'd be helpful. Let's move on to running backs. So my plan for Hendon Hooker is IR, pup, or cut. It's that simple. Now, in the running back room, I think you guys are probably going to disagree with me. We'll see. Jahmyr Gibbs, number 1. David Montgomery. I don't do it like, some other people's rosters where, they have like running back 1, running back 2. It's just, these are our guys, man. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, they're 1A, 1B. Behind them is Sione Vaki at number 3. And I'm saying that Sione Vaki is the 3rd best back. Now, there's been some question, how come Vaki's not playing? Well, he just got back. He's not ready to play yet. You'll probably see him this week. And then after him is Craig Reynolds. Here's the problem. Craig has not looked the same this year. Last year, whenever he touched the rock, man, he did something good with it. And I really think that something's up with him this year. He just doesn't look the same. You could blame it on the new offensive line. You could blame it on the new scheme. He's kind of gotten the crap kicked out of him on a few plays, like really bad. And I think he's on the bubble. Now, that doesn't mean that we have another running back to put behind him, because we don't. We really don't. I think we just cut Jabari Small, right? Or we waived him with injury settlement. And the only other running backs is Kai Robichaud has already been, waived with injury settlement. Jacob Sailors and Deion Jackson. Those are the only other 2. Haven't seen enough of them yet. So I'm going to go ahead and leave those 4 in, but I would not be surprised if the Lions only kept 3 running backs And that's what I have them taking right now is 3. So I'm going to highlight Mr. Craig Reynolds in red. Do you want me to share my screen or do you want me just to do it this way? Let me move this over here. Share my screen. Man, I already missed doing draft work. I've already been looking at stuff for next year. Quarterbacks that are coming out. I did one. I got a bunch more to do. I need more time. Just need more time. Where is it? Where is my Excel spreadsheet? There we go. We're getting close. All right. You should be able to see this. Just let me know in the chat if you can't. And I'll just take it off the screen. There we go. That should be good enough, I hope. It's kind of hard. All right, so the guys in red are the guys that are on my bubble. As you can see next to the position, I've got a 2 or a 3. That's how many players I'm looking at keeping out of the class that we have right now in camp. I don't have Chit lined up anymore. You guys all got weirded out about it, so I think I took him out. I'm sure I could find it. I know it freaks out Werner, U of M dad. Hold on. I don't know where the hell I put it, honestly. I don't know where it is, buddy. I don't. No clue. I'd have to find it. So anyway, let's move on. Wide receiver. So right now I'm keeping 3 running backs. I'm keeping 2 quarterbacks. Hendon Hooker's on the bubble. Craig Reynolds is on the bubble only because he is. We don't have anybody else. If I were to put a guy in 5th place right now behind Reynolds, I'm going to have to go with Jacob Sailors. He didn't get moved on yet, right? I don't think he did. I don't think any news popped today. All right, let's move on to wide receivers. So, like, this one's easy for me. Again, I don't care where I'm putting these guys, like left or right side. It doesn't really matter. But we'll go Amon-Ra St. Brown. Help if I could spell. We'll go Jamison Williams. And in the slot, we're going to go... Actually, timeout. In the slot, we're going to go Amon-Ra. Right wide receiver. I'm going to throw Isaac in there just for now. I don't really care where he's lined up. I just want him in a spot. Those are your top 3. That's what that means. Those are your top 3, and Amon-Ra St. Brown plays out of the slot more than anything. He can play anywhere on the field, but he plays a lot more slot than anything. And I think as Isaac Tesla is going to jump Tim Patrick. But Tim Patrick is number 4, and Khalif Raymond is your 5th in the slot, and then we've got one more. And the way that I view the wide receiver room right now is pretty simple. Dominic Lovett, his potential versus Jackson Meeks. Those are the only two right now that I'm liking. Jackson Meeks is coming along slowly. He's had a pretty good pop in this last game. Really good pop, I should say. And I can't say that I'm surprised. I think the kid has it. And I don't think there's any ties here to, you know, Zadarius Smith, that the Lions are going to keep Meeks over Lovett because of Zadarius Smith. That ain't going to happen. The Lions are going to keep the best football player. Right now, I would say that Jackson Meeks jumped out ahead of Dominic Lovett, even though I've had Lovett since day one as my dark horse to be that sixth wide receiver this year. The Lions never keep six. They always keep five. We kept six when Jameson was suspended. But after what Meeks just did in this showing, I think he's got a slight edge on Lovett. I'm just not ready to give it up. So it's Dominic Lovett right now. Now, if Meeks comes in this next game and completely lays the wood down again, he's going to jump Lovett. He's going to be my first. So those are six. There's your six guys. We got 2, 2, and 2, man. 2 by 2 by 2. We got 2 rights, 2 lefts, and we got 2 slot guys. Khalif Raymond obviously is going to be primarily used in the punt game. You hate that TK85 is out. What do you mean? That dude always sticks around until the end. He's TK45 now? Who's TK45? What does PS roster mean? Derek Lewis says, TK85 is still going to be a Lion after the apocalypse. That is hilarious. He will, man. He'll still show up. I mean, I love what that kid's all about. I really do. He bleeds blue. But now he's had like, what, 23, 24 different transactions throughout his NFL career. It's crazy to me. How many? Oh, wait, Jacob. We're going to put you in. Shoot, I didn't think this through. I don't know where my slash is. Where's my strike through at? All right, I'll just highlight the box. If you've got a colored yellow box, you're cut for now. Jackson Meeks, who else? Who else is potentially going to make a practice squad opportunity? Practice squad's really slim this year. I don't think Ronnie Bell's going to be sniffing it. TK85 could be on the practice squad. I'll throw him there as the other slot guy. And I'm not going to worry about throwing everybody else on the list. I shouldn't even have thrown Jacob Sailors on there. But something tells me the Lions might. I didn't pull up last year's. I should have. Last year's practice squad. I should have pulled it up to kind of get an idea of who we kept, but I didn't do it. So that part of it will probably be off. I'm not really worried about the practice squad right now. Last year we only kept 2 quarterbacks, though. Hendon Hooker and Jared Goff. Nate Sudfeld and Jake Fromm were both cut. We did keep 4 running backs, though. And that's why I've got Craig Reynolds. I mean, he's listed as a practice squad guy, but he could end up being in. With us keeping an extra receiver, because I think we did keep 5. No, we kept 4 receivers last year. 4. There was so much weird roster stuff going on last season because of all the injuries and the things that the Lions had to do, and they could park some guys. You know, they could park. Hold on a second here. Wait. Yeah, it was last year we kept 4. You could park some guys that were vets, you know, and have that little handshake deal, that they weren't going to go anywhere else. All right, tight ends. No, we're not at tight ends. I put tight ends at the bottom. Don't ask me why. Left tackle. Easy one, right? Taylor Decker. Pretty simple. Giovanni Manu. Left guard is going to be Christian Mahogany. Apparently I need to make these boxes a little bigger. Should have just set it to auto fit. Center is going to be Graham Glasgow. I've got a bone to pick with Brad, by the way. And here's why. I've got to find the soundbite. But all last year and the year before, so prior to the 2023 season, when we were going into the draft, I said, man, it would be a great idea to start looking at bringing in a center guard hybrid to be ready when Frank hangs it up. Because I didn't think he was going to play much longer after all the injuries that he battled. And then we get through the 23 season, the rumors start flying that Frank's going to hang it up, but he comes a couple weeks later, he comes back, says, no, I'm good to go. I was just upset, said some things I probably shouldn't have, but I'm good to go. I'm going to be playing this year. Well, I said the same damn thing last year in the offseason before we got to the draft. This would be a great opportunity, Brad, to go get us a really good guard that can play center. The Joe Tippmans, the Goncalves kid. Who else? Mind escapes me. But there's a couple other guys that I really liked. And he didn't do it. You know what Brad said last year? And I took this as a shot to me, which I'm not saying it was, but I took it that way. He said something like it's not a good idea. He doesn't think it's a good idea to bring in a guard center hybrid to get ready for the future at the position. What did you do this year? You brought in a guard that you're turning into a center. Kind of funny, huh? Kind of funny. So it made me feel like an idiot because I'm thinking it's a great idea to go get a guard center hybrid. Someone that can come in and play next to Frank Ragnow in year one. Learn. I mean, I thought it would have been a much better idea for us to get a guard last year that was going to be an eventual center. Could have learned from Frank all year long. Obviously, we had Kevin Zeitler. You're not gonna take that opportunity away, right? But you could have put him on the other side. When Graham Glasgow was having some issues, there was options, right? At least just have him on the damn roster, and he could have been plucking, Frank Ragnow's brain the entire season. But he made me feel like an idiot, like it was a bad idea to do that, and that's exactly what he did this year. It's exactly what he did. He went and got a guard center hybrid that is now going to play guard and learn how to play center. I'm just saying. All right, right guard is. Come on, say it with me. Who's the right guard this year? The Motor City Mullet, Tay Ralledge. And your right tackle is Penei Sewell. Dan Skipper. Behind him. We got Miles Frazier, but I'm going to put him one back because I believe he's going to be on active pup. Let's just make these chase each other. There we go. Skipper not ahead of Manu? What do you mean? Skipper not ahead of Manu. I got Giovanni Manu at the left tackle spot. Skipper's at the right tackle spot. For now. He's a swing tackle. That's just where I got him. That's just where I'm putting him on the roster for now. It doesn't matter. He can play both sides. And he's a swing tackle for a reason, but I mean, who else could we put down on the left side? Where'd my roster go? Miles Frazier. Tristan Cologne's injured for a while, which is not good. Right now, Mason Miller not looking the greatest, which is really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. I'm really not happy with the back end of our offensive line. Like Kingsley and Netane Muti. I have a feeling that Muti's probably going to make the roster. Tristan Cologne's going to be a pup, dude. I think that he's definitely going to be pupping it out. Let's put him. Oh, man. Kingsley's going to have to make this roster. He spells his last name. Eguakun? Eguakun. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to do this right there. Kingsley is going to be practice squad. And the reason why we don't need a backup, because if Graham goes down, Tate can slide in, right? Maybe Miles Frazier will be back by then. He can slide up. And this may not be the, you know, the sexiest pick in the world right now. But I do like Jamarco Jones. I know that he's got some sort of an injury right now, but I think he's going to be all right. The way I'm looking at this right now is it's two tackles on the left side, 2 guards, 1 center, 2 guards on the right side, 2 tackles. So that gives us a total of 9. And last season, I'm almost positive we kept 9. We did. No, wait. I have it somewhere. We kept 10. We had Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, Graham Glasgow. So Frank and Graham, those are your centers. You know, your starter and your backup. We had Kevin Seitler as a guard, Skipper as a swing, Kobe as a backup tackle, Giovanni Manu as a backup tackle, Coyote Owasika, he was playing guard, right? And then Michael Neese. So Michael Neese is the other guy that I'm looking at. He's probably going to make this roster behind Tate right now because Miles Frazier is going to be on PUP. They might want to stick with the guys that they have confidence in. Miles Frazier, I'm going to put active PUP. We'll just put him in red for now because he shouldn't count. Maybe I should change his color. We'll put him in purple. How about that? Purple for PUP. Tight end. I initially had 4 here. I don't think we're keeping 4. It's definitely going to be Sam Laporta. Whoops. Sam Laporta and Brock Wright. Now the question is Shane Zielstra, Zach Horton, Gunnar Oaks, Steven Stellanos. I mean, Gunnar Oaks and Steven. I mean, come on. If we keep Shane Zielstra, I would be surprised. He has not been extremely explosive for me this year. I mean, I thought that he would have made it last year and he didn't. Tight end, I'm gonna go 3, and I'm not even gonna add anybody right now to the practice squad other than, what does the green mean? Green. What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay. Is Zach Horton ahead? I mean, he's a UDFA this year. And I just don't know enough about Gunnar Oaks or this other guy. We haven't seen enough of these guys. I think that tight end is probably going to be an area that the Lions are going to be looking elsewhere. we did send Yeboah off with an injury designation or an injury settlement, right? So he's gone for now, correct? I think that's the case. I think he's gone for right now. So I'm going to stick with 3. So let me add that up. 2 quarterbacks. So it's 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15, 16, 18, 20. Yeah, that's 23. So 23 on offense for right now. That's kind of light. So last year we had 10 offensive line, 3 tight ends, that's 13. 4 receivers, that's 17. 4 running backs for 21. 2 quarterbacks for 23. So I'm right on par for last year, but I feel like we're in way better shape this year than we were last year. I mean, just look at the names that we have on this roster so far. It's pretty stacked. I still think we could be better in the backup offensive line, area. All right, so then let's just start with free safety and safety, and we'll work our way up. Since I've already started on these, free safety, I think that we're going to keep probably 2. Whether it's free safety or strong safety, I don't think it really matters at this point. A safety is a safety. These guys have been fairly interchangeable, and if we understand Dan and Brad pretty well, they're going to bring guys in that are interchangeable. I think that they're going to want to stay deep at linebacker. Keep at least 6. So last year we carried 11 DBs, of which Strickland, Brandon, Efetu, Kirby, and BB, we had 5 safeties altogether. So that's kind of where I'm at too. So it's 2 free safeties, 2 strong, 1 nickel. And the only reason why I'm saying 1 nickel right now is we got guys that can move around, right? You got 2 starting right corners or CB1s, and then you got 3 starting, CB2s. Terrian can play right or left. DJ Reed can play right or left. Rocky Sin can play right or left. Avonte Maddox, he can play anywhere. He's our utility guy, and I have him up here as a corner versus a safety right now because I think that they'll put him anywhere that they need him to play, and he'll be able to play the position just fine. So it really doesn't matter where you put him. So we kept 11. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 10 this year that I have slotted prior to getting started. Now let's fill it in. Let's see who's sticking around. Let me see what I wrote here on. I didn't write anything on the DBs. I didn't. Obviously, let me go back to offensive line for just a brief second. I wrote a little statement. With the injuries that are impacting decisions already this year, particularly at the interior position, Kingsley, like I did say earlier, was emerging as that potential backup, and I think that he is. If you want to leave Tate Ratledge at guard, which would be probably the stronger play, unless they really think that Tate is a much better center than Kingsley already. Then you slide, Kingsley over to guard. Offensive line, the tackles, we know who they are. With Tristan Colon having, some early opportunity, a guy that I think is going to stick around. He's just got to get through his injury. I think he's going to stick around. We'll see what happens there. Does DiCaprio Boodle have a shot at making this roster now with all these injuries that are creeping? He might. Safety, though. We got Brian Branch. We know that Morris Norris is going to be out for a while. We got Kirby Joseph. Those guys are healthy. Lauren Strickland is around. He's on this roster. And I'm obviously going to put Lauren as the other free safety. So who's our big backup behind BB? I think immediately it's Avonte Maddox. And I think Avonte just needs to just kind of be wherever. That way we can keep. I don't think Eric Hallett's making this roster. At least I wouldn't, but I'm not Brad. I think you can put Avonte Maddox right behind Amik Robertson, but I'm just not going to do that. Cleo Dorsey's not back, so he's going to be on some sort of a list. Morris Norris is probably going to be on some sort of a list. So that means your other strong safety is Ian Kennelly. He's on this roster. At least right now, until some more moves get made. If any other moves get made. I was really liking Dan Jackson. I thought that he was turning out to be a fine football player. All right, so we got our safeties. We got our nickels. They're all set. And our corners. There it is. Nick Whiteside makes this roster. And let me read a little bit of what I wrote on DBs. Oh, I didn't write anything. That's right. I was lazy. Look, I'll just put it this way. Dan has had some nice things to say about Nick Whiteside. And I don't know if I have. Man, I did a shit job tonight, didn't I? I'm floating tonight. Just floating. Just kind of hanging out. I thought I had a quote by Dan. I guess I don't. I'm wondering if DiCaprio Boodle makes this squad and we keep an extra guy. I mean, he's been decent. He's not great. He's really not great. I think that there's better out there. And we got a boatload of money that Brad's not spending. I get it. I understand why. And I think we've got a good enough team as it is. And we've got plenty of money to be able to make some moves when need be. Man, DiCaprio Boodle or Nick Whiteside? Let me see where I'm at, and let's see if I've got to add an extra guy. We're going to be deep somewhere. We're going to be... Oh, did I take my my sheet off? Shoot. My bad. There we go. All right, Sam Linebacker. Sam Linebacker. Well, Derek Barnes. Middle linebacker is Jack, the captain, Campbell. Your will side should be Alex Anzalone. It's a good start. I see this going down like this. We're probably going to keep 2, 2, and 2. And we're going to have some guys on some lists. And we're going to have some guys that are just going to flat out get cut, that are going to be free agents, but they don't have to sign with anybody because they're vets. So, at least the way I understand it. I just don't know who it's going to be yet. Zach Cunningham's making this roster. At least right now. I guess I'll throw him in the middle. He's making this roster. He's been looking good. Grant Stewart's making this roster. That dude is... Man, he's something else. You're going to have Malcolm Rodriguez on some sort of a list. It'll be purple. Let me make this a little wider. Whoops, I did the exact opposite. There we go. I'll come back and tighten this up later. Our backup Sam linebacker is Trevor Nowaski. All right, so behind these guys, I mean, does Anthony Pittman's going to make this roster? And he'll definitely make the roster probably as a practice squad guy, but this could be where we keep an extra guy. I think the Lions are gonna want to stay deep on the defense. They're gonna want to be more prepared for what happened last season. We have so many weapons on the offensive side of the football that I hate to even say this. I mean, you could lose 2 or 3 guys and still be fine. As long as they're not season enders, we would still be fine. On the defensive side of the football, I think it's a little bit different. You start to lose your first string and things get really dicey with the second. Although they stood on business last year. They really did a great job. But Pittman's going to be at least on practice squad. Deron Gilbert, I've never been super excited about. And Ezekiel Turner, I've never really been extremely excited about. But I think that they're going to end up keeping him somewhere. DiCaprio Boodle. Let's pop him in here. Practice squad. Unlikely to happen, but we'll see. All right, let's get into the defensive ends. This is where you guys are going to love me or hate me. Davenport, we know, is number 1. Aiden is number 2. Well, you know what I mean. I said that backwards. And behind Davenport, you have Josh Paschal, who right now is on some sort of a list. I just don't know what that list is going to be. Al-Qudi Muhammad's been looking really good. We'll stick him over here with Aiden. And then we got our guy Ahmed Hassanin. So there's 4. Now, if we look at last year's, the Lions kept 6 backers last year. Mitchell Agood, Abraham Beauplan, Joe somebody, and Ty Summers missed the cut. But it was Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez, Jalen Reeves-Maben, and Ben Nyman, all on the roster last year as our linebackers. I think our linebacker room is definitely better than where it was a season ago. When you take a look at the defensive line, we kept 9 overall, and right now we have 4, and we have 2 guys on lists. But as far as ends, Isaac Ukwu missed the cut. Remember, Kyle Pecco missed the cut, but he had that handshake deal, and he came back to the practice squad. Pat O'Connor missed the cut, but he also came back. Chris Smith missed the cut, and then he also came back. And then Mathieu Betts headed back to Canada. He's like, screw this place, I'm out of here. Going to swim across the border and go home. But James Houston made the roster. John Kaminsky, Mekhi Wingo, Josh Paschal, Levi Onwuzurike, Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader, Marcus Davenport, Aiden Hutchinson. Let's fill in the ones that we know, right? DJ Reader and Tyleik Williams are your starters. We only kept 9. Roy Lopez. He is your backup behind Reader right now. And remember, Tyleik he can play anywhere. He can play anywhere across the line. Absolutely anywhere. Mekhi Wingo is going to be on a list, I think. There's been some rumors that he could be back before week 1, but is he really going to be ready to play? And do we really need him for the first 4 weeks? That's the biggest question, right? Pat O'Connor's making this roster. He didn't make it last year, but he's going to make it this year, I think. Aleem McNeil's going to be on a list. I got to switch these guys around. Where's my purple? Just there. Do it. So behind Roy Lopez is... I mean, Chris Smith has actually looked really good. Miles Adams, for some reason, seems to be in the back of the bunch, and so does Cooper. But Cooper's looked really good, too. And I think this is why the Lions are probably going to want to get deep. So let's do this. Let's cut Pascal. Let's push him to the right. And let's pop... Let's get deep on this edge room. And let's pop Keith Cooper in here. I don't think the Lions are going to want to let him go. He has looked too good. He has looked way too good for the Lions to take a chance on him getting snagged. It's happened to us before, and they might want to stay deep here. So, right defensive end, I'm going to go 3. Defensive tackle, I'm going to go 2. Because we're going to have 3 guys really on lists. Ali McNeil, Mekhi Wingo, and Josh Pascal. And both Mekhi Wingo and Josh Pascal could be back sooner rather than later. And if the Lions want to play the long game, they could keep Mekhi Wingo out for 8 weeks. They could keep Josh Pascal out for 4 weeks. And we just roll the dice with the first quarter of the season and hope that you end up 3-1 or 2-2. And guys are playing well, right? I think that's a good dice to roll, if you will. I'm not sold that Broderick Martin is probably going to get cut. I'm going to stick him out here. You know, he had a decent showing the other day, but we're going to put him on the practice squad. And Miles Adams, I really like Miles Adams too. This is a very tough situation for the Lions to be in. I'm going to put him on the practice squad for now until I do my count and see what I got wrong. Nate Lynn or Chris Smith, man, like this is tough. Would you guys go Nate Lynn or Chris Smith? Oh, I see a lot of Nate Lynn's in this. Where's Zadarius? Zadarius is on the couch. He can't join the team until after week 1. Pat O'Connor is one of my favorite bottom of the roster player stories. 7th round pick for Detroit, comes back many years later because of Dan. Brent Lighton. Give Broderick his own color. No, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. Give Broderick his own color. That's vicious. That's vicious. All right, let's do the count. 3, 5, 7. This is 3, so that's 10, 12, 14, 16. Oh, I just lost my count. I hate that. 5, 10, 16, 19, 21, and 5 is 26. Uh-oh. 26 and 23 means we've got 49. We got 4 players left, y'all. Which means I still got 1 more player I can add. We'll throw special teams in here. We've got Jack Fox. We've got the Jake Master the Bates. And Hogan. My dog's name when I was a kid. Hogan. After Hogan's Heroes or Hulk Hogan. Take your choice. Hogan Hatton. Let's move these guys over. All right, we got a free player. So we got 3 3. Let me just double check my count. Make sure my math is mathing. All right, 2, 2, and 1 is 5. 3 and 2 makes 10. 2, 2, and 2 makes 6 for 16. 19, 21, and 5 is 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, shit. And I've only got 25 guys on the board. We just gained another player. How's that possible? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I just missed somebody. That's all. 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 with Raymond. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And that's without Kingsley on this roster. That's him on the practice squad. So we've got 52 players. We can either put Kingsley on the roster. We're definitely not going to keep 7 wide receivers. So Brent, who would I give up? There's no way we're keeping 7 wide receivers. So here's the question, right? Here's the hardest question that Brad and Dan have to answer every year. Every freaking year is, so let's just flush it out. Is Jackson Meeks better than Miles Adams and what that production would be if he gets in the game? Is Jackson Meeks better than Anthony Pittman? Is Jackson Meeks better than DiCaprio Bootle? And I would say yes. I would keep him over Bootle. I would not keep him over Pittman or Miles Adams. Right? Mike P's in the house, man. Good to see you in here. Didn't I spell it right? Eguakun. That's how I spelled it. Eguakun or Eguakun. What did I miss on Ahmed? Did I spell? What's going on there? Carol, what's up with Ahmed? See his name in there, but I'm gonna have to dial all the way back to try to figure out what you guys are talking about. You would keep Meeks over Pittman and Miles Adams? Really? I'd be honest with you. I would keep Broderick Martin over Jackson Meeks. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I mean, maybe I'm not kidding because who knows? So here's the other problem. All right. So we've got one man under right now, which may not be a problem, right? The Lions may only elect to keep 52 because they know that they're going to end up bringing a Lee McNeil or Malcolm Rodriguez or Mekhi Wingo or Josh Paschal back pretty quick to round out 53, and then they don't have to make a coordinating move. And if they get, an agreement with Miles Adams and Anthony Pittman and Broderick Martin, which I don't think they can with Broderick, but I believe they can with Anthony and Miles, to say, hey, we want you on the practice squad. You know damn well you're going to play at some point probably. Stick around. But this also means that Hendon Hooker's gone, Craig Reynolds is gone, Jackson Meeks is gone, and Kingsley's not on the roster. And the only reason why I didn't put Kingsley on the roster to start is because Tate Ratledge can fill in for Graham Glasgow. And then when Miles Frazier comes back, so that's another problem, you're going to have to bring Miles Frazier back at some point. And maybe you don't. Maybe you sit him on PUP and then you elevate him. You start his window. I got to review every year that I get these wrong. If they start him on IR, I think that they can come back after 8 weeks. And then they get their 21-day window. If you start him on PUP, here, you know what? Let's just ask our buddy Copilot. He can find it faster than me. All right, let's see. 4 weeks for IR. I know one of them's 4 and one of them's 8. But there's something new that the Lions obviously put in for that change. And I think it's to gain 2 spots. I'll just have to study it after today. Here's what Copilot said. So pup list, active pup, training camp. Used for players injured before training camp starts. Players cannot practice but can attend meetings and rehab. They count against the 90-man roster. If a player practices even once, they must be removed from pup. Okay, so that means Miles Frazier is on active pup right now, which is the guy that I thought was on active pup. Malcolm Rodriguez is on, he's still on IR from last year. So if you are on active pup, then you have to be transitioned to reserve pup at final countdown or cut down. And once a reserve pup or once on reserve pup, they must miss at least 4 games, then follow the standard return window, 5 weeks to begin practice, 3 weeks to activate. So if I'm understanding that correctly, right now, our guys that are on active pup would be Malcolm Rodriguez, because he ended the season on IR from a season-ending injury from the season before. And so would Ali McNeil. He should be on active pup right now. He hasn't practiced, right? Both of those, so all 3 of those guys, Miles Frazier, Malcolm Rodriguez, Ali McNeil, and Mekhi Wingo are all on active pup. That is my guess. I think I'm fairly correct here based on the information. Which means those 4 guys will transition to reserve pup. And hold on, more questions here. So reserve pup and the roster impact looks like this. Players placed on reserve pup at the final cut down after being on active pup during camp are removed from the 53-man roster. This opens up a spot for another player. They must miss at least 4 regular season games before they are eligible to return. Once eligible again is that 5-week window to start practice, and then a 3-week window to activate them. So there you go. That's exactly how they're going to be able to keep all these guys, by placing Ali McNeil, Malcolm Rodriguez, Mekhi Wingo, and Miles Frazier on active pup. That'll transition to reserve pup. Those guys will not count against the roster, according to Mr. Copilot here, who I had review the NFLPA rules. And we're solid. So then the only question is IR. If you put someone on injured reserve before the final 53, the player's ineligible to return unless released with an injury settlement. So when you're seeing the guys that we've released with an injury settlement so far, Kai Robichaud, Jabari Small, and others, they can return. They can return this year. So who would we put on IR right now out of this roster? Who would we put on IR? Hendon Hooker? Will he be on IR? Will he come up with a hammy in the last preseason game? So who do we keep? Probably going to keep Craig Reynolds, I would assume. I don't know how many years he's been in the league. I think this is year 3 or 4 for him. So he may have to go through waivers, and he probably won't clear waivers. So who's the last guy that we keep? It's sad, but it's true. Here it is. It's Broderick Martin. I know you guys love me for this one. That's my 53 for right now. You can hate me or love me all you want, but that's it for right now. So the guys in red, I would have hopefully going to the practice squad. Miles Adams should qualify. Pittman should qualify. Boodle, probably not. I can't remember how many years he's been in the league. Boodle has been in the league since 2021. So this will be his 5th season. So when you've played 0 to 3 seasons, you have to clear waivers. Anything 4+, you become a free agent as long as you're a vested veteran with a minimum of 3 vested seasons. So that means that Miles Adams, Anthony Pittman, DiCaprio Boodle, those guys can have handshake deals if they want to stick around. If they feel like, you know, that they could win with this team and possibly have a chance to play, you know, they'll stick around. I guess that is what it is. So appreciate the respect there, Cruz. And he says that's a mock to respect. I think that we're pretty close. I think that there's some toss-ups here. I think, again, Dominic Lovett and Jackson Meeks, that's going to come down to, you know, the final preseason game. You know, if the Lions are going to keep 6 receivers, I think it comes down to the last preseason game. Who's ever having the best of the last 2. TK85, he's never going to make this roster, man. I just don't see that happening. There's too many good receivers in front of him. I know he always plays well, but man, that's tough. Pascal, that's a good question. I'm glad you just brought that up because I forgot, and you reminded me. So Josh Pascal, let's remind ourselves, he's NFI, right? So let's ask our guy here. Question is, if you're on NFI before training camp and not ready before cuts, what happens? So if you're NFI before camp and you're not ready by cut down, you're placed on reserve NFI. The team can then move the player from active NFI to reserve NFI at the final cut down. That means that the player is removed from the 53-man roster, and they also must miss at least 4 regular season games. After 4 games, the team gets that same window, right? I think the only difference here is probably going to be money, pay status. And so here's one other question that I have that I don't remember. How many players can you have on reserve, PUP, or IR at one time? There's a limit, or there used to be a limit. I want to say last year the limit was 8, right? You could have 8 guys return in the season. So there may not be a hard cap for how many players can be on the list, but there's a hard cap for how many can come back. So if we have Miles Frazier, that's 1. Malcolm, Aleem, Mackay, and Pascal, that's 5 total. Those guys can all come back. And we'd still have 3 left over for in-season injuries, which we're not going to have. It's just not going to happen. Oops, wrong color. I think we're all in agreement with that. So let me put Josh. Oh, come on, what is this thing doing? There we go. Josh Pascal on reserve NFI, if I understood that correctly. He'll be on reserve NFI. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Attila. He says Shep is going to make this defense cook with Hutchinson, Barnes, Davenport back, along with these linebacker looks, plus our league best safety duo. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we are in very good shape. Very, very, very good shape. Yeah, we've had a few injuries, and every team does. If I get a chance tonight, which I'm going to be jumping off here in a minute, I was trying to review for tomorrow kind of a league-wide look. Like how many injuries are other teams going through, right? And there's quite a list. I may not be able to get it all done tonight, but I'm interested to know where all the other teams stack up against the Lions as far as injuries. Now, I don't think I'm missing anybody, right? Let me just double check my list. Am I missing anyone? I mean, outside of some practice squad guys like Deron Gilbert, Chris Smith. Where did I put him? Oh, shoot. Chris Smith. He was a free agent pickup in 2023, I believe. Yeah. 2023. So he's not someone that can kind of pick and choose where they want to go. I think that Brad and Dan they do a really smart job of bringing guys in that they kind of understand the rap on these guys. You know, you got the vet squad, you've got the guys that you can secure, you've got some young guys. But when you look at how many guys have at least 3 accrued seasons, I think it's really smart to have. Now, I think there's limits to. Let me ask our guy too. For the practice squad. Every year we go through this. My brain doesn't work in the beginning of the season. So you can have 16 players. You can have a minimum of 10 players that are rookies or first or second year players. So 10 out of the 16 have to be rooks or second year players. That means you can only have 6 vested veterans. All right. So if we're going to have 6 vested veterans, that would be Boodle, Pittman, Adams. It could be Craig Reynolds. It wouldn't be Hendon Hooker. And it would not be Kingsley Egwokin. It could be TK85. There you go. There you get your TK85. It won't be Chris Smith. And it won't be Isaac Uku or Ezekiel Turner either. So that's the game that they play. But I think that they're really smart when they lay this stuff out, you know, to look at, you know, we're in 2025. So we need a few guys on this roster that we think are going to be good backups that, you know, have been playing since 2022. You know, so they get their 3 years of you know, vested years underneath them, so that way they can have those little handshake deals. And I'm not saying that every team does it, but every team does it. I'm not saying the Lions do it, but the Lions do it. I know for sure they have to do it. We got so lucky last year with all the guys that came back to our practice squad. All right. What kind of conversation you guys got going on in here? What's the tape thing, Maureen? What's the tape thing? Tape on my hat? What are we talking about? Oh, not showing us enough? Yeah, well, kind of pisses me off too, because I love diving into the tape. I don't know why there's no tape. I don't know why. I only pay $100 and some odd for it. It should be tape. We can watch last year's. That's not going to help us. I don't have Cleo Dorsey on active pup. I probably don't. They'll probably keep him around. We could throw him in there. And you know who else we can throw in there is we can probably throw Morris Norris on pup. Like they said, there's no limit. There's only a limit on how many guys can come back. So by adding those two guys, that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it gives us 7 guys that can go on pup. So we're kind of up against it. Isaac Tape? What's that all about? Why would we call him Isaac Tape? Nicknames for Isaac Tesla. Here, I'll give you a few. Hold on. Oh, let's see. These suck. Oh, how about this one? The Motor City Megawatt. Or the Gridiron Gigawatt. How about the Hudsonville Hammer? The Route Running Reactor. The Voltage Viper. Velcro. Yeah, wasn't it me in the very beginning that they called Isaac Tesla the like cyber slaw or cyber something? Sticky fingers. Come on, you guys can get more creative than that. The Tesla Plaid, huh? His high school nickname was Slaw. His Hillsdale College name was Tesla. And the shortened version from his Arkansas days was just Tess. So those are his 3 nicknames that he's had so far. Slaw, Tesla, and Tess. What is the what was that big coil thing that Tesla built back in the day? What was that called? Cybertron. There it is. That's what I said. Cybertron. That one kind of sticks for me, man. I like the Cybertron. What was it the Tesla coil? Was it literally the Tesla coil? Why don't we just call him that? No Tron stuff. You guys not liking the Motor City Megawatt or the Voltage Viper or the Gridiron Gigawatt, the Route Running Reactor? My personal favorite, the Hudsonville Hammer. You know, the Lions would only be wise to do some sort of electrical celebration inside the stadium. You know, have some little lightning bolts going back and forth, you know, in the stadium. The lights kind of flickering when he scores. Maureen, was that a did I do that? Or was that a did AI do that? She says, those are terrible. If those are terrible, then AI definitely did those. All right. I'm out of here, y'all. I'll run down the list one more time. Here we go. Jared Goff, Kyle Allen, 1 and 2. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Sione Vaki. Craig Reynolds gets edged out. Isaac Tesla, Tim Patrick. Jamison Williams, Dominic Lovett. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif Raymond. Lions keep 6 in the wide receiver room. Taylor Decker, Giovanni Manu. Christian Mahogany and Jamarco Jones. Graham Glasgow all by himself. Tate Ratledge and Michael Neese. Penei Sewell and Dan Skipper. Tight ends, you got Sam Laporta, Shane Zylstra, and Brock Wright. Or as Dan Miller would say, Brock Wright. Defensive ends, you've got Aiden Hutchinson, El-Kadim Muhammad, and Nate Lynn. On the other side, Marcus Davenport, Ahmed the Assassin, and Keith Cooper. Nose tackle, you've got DJ Reader, Roy Lopez, and Broderick Martin. Tyleik Williams and Pat O'Connor on the inside, or on the outside, whatever way you want to look at it. Linebackers, Lions keep 6 with Alex Anzalone, Grant Stewart, Jack Campbell, Zach Cunningham, Derek Barnes, Trevor Nowaski. For your corners, you're looking at DJ Reed, Rock Ya-Sin, Terrion Arnold, and Avante Maddox, and Nick Whiteside. Nickel safety or nickelback, Amik Robertson, and free safeties, Kirby Joseph, Lauren Strickland. Brian Branch and Ian Kennelly round out this strong safety room. And that gives you 51 players with Jack Fox, Jake Bates, and Hogan Hatton rounding out your special teams group, getting us to a total of 53. I see immediate need to put 7 guys on active PUP or Josh Paschal on reserve NFI. It would only make sense. You know, last year I was pretty ticked off when Brad was doing the things that he was doing. Was it last year or the year before that he, no, it was last year that he should have put somebody on reserve PUP and he didn't. And we ended, no, it was the year before, I think. Maybe it was last year. We ended up, anyway, either way, we ended up losing the safety. Or the DB, which I think he's done for the year anyway. He's already got a big injury. I still think that he would have been great to round out the back end of this room. We'll see what he does this year, man. I think that with the rules here, let me just ask one more question to my guy here. What were the rule changes by the Detroit Lions in 2025 for IR players counting against? You know, the Lions are smart, man. They saw this stuff coming down. They had that issue last year. So the Lions proposed this. Current NFLPA and league rules in 2025, the teams have a 90 player limit across all roster designations, including 53-man active, 16-man practice, IR, and reserve pup. 69. So there's a 90 player limit across all designations. So then there is kind of a limit, really. I mean, if you got 53 and 16, that gives you 69, which means that you can have 11. No, I guess that gives you 21 guys, really. You could put on reserve pup and NFI and injured reserve and suspended players. You could have up to 21 additional players. Even though IR and pup players don't count against the active 53, they do count towards the total 90-man limit, which persists beyond training camp. So the proposal by the Lions was, after being riddled with injuries in 24, they proposed a rule to raise the total roster cap. I didn't see that. No. That's wrong. They didn't ask to raise it from 90 to 95, did they? I don't remember them saying from 90 to 95. I thought it was to only add 2 more guys. Now I'm going to have to go back and look. But I'm not going to do that tonight. I need to get out of here. I'll see you guys in the morning. Dan Campbell's on at 10, I believe, tomorrow. Practice is at 10:30. If that changes, I'll let you know in the morning. Obviously, you guys will probably know already. And we'll try to get started on time. Thursday, I'm off. We'll be at camp. And Friday's up in the air. And that's it. You guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining me tonight on this extremely long version of the 53-man predictions. But it's done. And I think it's pretty solid. I don't know of anything that I would change right now outside of injury. Unless I got something wrong here with active pup designations or NFI designations for right now. I'll work on building the practice squad, but I think that we're going to see some guys brought in to this roster after cuts. Brad always has his eyes on somebody, and this is going to be the year that I think that Brad is going to take a very active look. The only problem is, I think when you bring somebody in after cuts, they have to go direct to the roster. And if they have to go direct to the roster, that means somebody on the roster has to go directly off the roster, which could be a pup situation. And it is what it is. But if there's someone really good that becomes available, you got to have to move heaven and earth to make it happen. And I'm good with that. I think that we still need a small upgrade here on the reserve offensive line or the backup offensive line. I think we're pretty good on the defensive side of the football. Like, I don't even know really. I don't know how you could get much better. Outside of spending a lot of money, I don't know how you could get much better. But all right, maybe we'll talk about more of it tomorrow. Either way, y'all have a wonderful day. Golden Pride, go to Detroit Lions. Thank you for being the best part of this channel. Did we go ad-free tonight? I think I did ad-free for you guys tonight. Did we go ad-free? I think we did. Oh, no, we didn't. Shoot. You should have told me. Well, whatever. It is what it is. Thanks for paying the bills. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
The podcast.
Shout out to Rockhound Detroit Lions, man.
There
One
you go.
pride.